If you're a literacy leader tasked with improving reading outcomes in your system, this video is for you. I'm Stephanie, and I support educators to improve reading outcomes by learning about and implementing the science of reading. In this short video, I'll walk you through information about my book with Sarah Brown called MTSS for Reading Improvement and a new opportunity we're offering called the Facilitators Collaborative. Sarah and I wrote this book so that we could provide the knowledge, the processes, and the tools that educators need to implement MTSS for reading improvement. The book is organized in 3 sections that follow the actions that will be recommended in implementation science. So the first part of the book is really geared towards the folks who are not K-3 teachers and who have not had the advantage of lots of professional development around the science of reading. So in the first chapter, we introduce the science of reading and how it connects to multi-tiered systems of support. In the second chapter, we go beyond just what to teach, but include aspects of the science of reading that are related to how to teach, what we know from research about effective reading instruction. And in the third chapter, we set up assessment systems. So what kinds of assessments are needed? What are the purposes of those assessments? How to select those assessments to implement a multi-tiered system of support. The second section of the book is all about your local context. So in chapter 4, we give a little bit of the history of multi-tiered systems of support to help clarify how it might be implemented now versus what the original intent was and how to get back to that original intention. We also give information about teaming. This is really the backbone of implementing MTSS, those collaborative teams filled with representatives of all stakeholder groups within your system, all using the same database decision-making process. So how do we take those assessments that were described in part 1 and put them into action in teams at all levels of the system to bring out actions that will get results for students? The third section of the book is all about implementation supports. You know, a lot of times district and school leaders will make mandates about improving reading outcomes or about implementing MTSS, but the actual supports that teachers need to change their instruction are not always in place. So in the third part of the book, we have a chapter on implementing and improving the Tier 1 system, another chapter about implementing and improving the intervention systems, Tier 2 and Tier 3, and then the final chapter addresses how to improve and intensify all tiers across an MTSS. The book includes very large appendices that are full of meeting agendas, templates, tools for analysis, for having conversations, and for doing this collaborative teaming that is so essential to MTSS for reading. So I hope you'll check out the book. I hope it'll be supportive to you in your work. But Sarah and I are also offering a new opportunity called the Facilitators Collaborative. So if you are specifically working to bring MTSS for reading improvement to your school, perhaps through a book study, the Facilitator Collaborative is the right way to give you the support you need so you're not spending lots and lots of time creating materials for that book study. So when you join the Facilitator Collaborative, you get access to slides that will help you walk your colleagues through the book. There's a format for a 3-session version or a 9-session version. You get the slides. They come with talking points or notes that you can use as you are presenting this book and facilitating the folks you work with to have discussion and conversation with the book and to use your own data, to use the tools, resources, and guides that are in the appendices. The Facilitator Collaborative also includes tools like a facilitator's guide, suggestions around timed agendas for operating either a 3-session or a 9-session book study. And perhaps most importantly, you get access to a monthly Q&A conversation with Sarah and I, or with other educators from around the country. So you can do a little bit of networking with other people who are also using the book to improve their reading outcomes. So hopefully the book will give you the sense that you are not alone out there in trying to improve reading outcomes. There is a research-aligned, proven approach. There are people like Sarah Brown and I who are available to support you in doing this work. So I hope you will join us in reading the book, but also participating in the Facilitator Collaborative.